should now have a worksheet that is dry, filled with all our different mark makings that we did from last lesson. What we are going to do now is grab yourself a massive piece of paper, yeah, A3 paper there, and we're going to decide on what ones that we are going to do all over the page that have worked really well. So I think the bubble wraps work quite nicely. The fork, these ones here look quite nice, and these ones look quite nice. So I'm going to carry on with that. I'm going to put that to one side. I've got my paint there, and I've also got a couple of different things that I'm going to use. So the card to drag it, I've also got a paintbrush, and I have got a fork and another paintbrush. So what I want you to do is completely fill this whole A3 piece of paper with all your different marks. So I'm going to add a couple of different ones in as well, which is stippling. So if you grab yourself a paintbrush that's kind of wiry like this one here, you dip it into your paint, and what you can do is kind of make, you push it down quite a lot, and then you can make it look like this, and then you can keep going, and it kind of makes quite a nice texture. So I'm going to carry on with my fork, because that made quite cool marks last time. So I'm just going to dip it into my paint there. I am then going to draw in some marks like so. So it doesn't matter if I overlap some of the other ones, that will kind of make it look a bit more exciting. I'm going to drag it through the paint. I'm just going to do it on different pieces. They don't need to be all together in the one place. And then I'm going to carry it on with the marks in different places. So when we go to cut them out on our tortoise, we'll have some marks that have mixed in with other marks. It will be really interesting. So I'm going to leave the fork one, all done with that. If you do not have a glue stick, which I don't think there's enough for everybody, you can always just use a lollipop stick, which I'm going to do. And you can use that to kind of drag paint like this across and kind of make some lines with it. As it goes, you can then merge in with other marks that you've made, and it will look quite cool. So I'm going to finish off with this area here. I'm going to get my piece of card, and I'm going to cut some shapes into it like I did last time. So I'm going to cut some triangles out of it, and then it kind of makes some really cool lines. Okay, so I'm going to dip it in my green, and I'm going to dip it in the purple as well, so they kind of merge together. And then I'm going to do it over here, dip it in the purple, do it back in the green, some of the blue. I'm going to cross hatch them slightly as well. Okay, right, I'm happy with that part. Then I'm going to go in with my straw in the back of my paintbrush, because I thought that made a really cool texture last time. So I'm just going to pop some dots around this area over here. And again, they can overlap. It doesn't matter if they overlap, because it can create some interesting marks. Then I'm going to go in with my straw and make some other marks on the top. There we go. And then one last one I'm going to do, which we didn't do before, is I'm going to screw up some piece of paper, just any piece of paper I'm going to screw up, like so. I'm then going to dip it into the paint so that it is covered on a part of it. I'm going to turn my page around so I can do it on the other side. And then I'm going to use it to create some textures. And I can dip it in a different colour. And then I can make some more textures. So by the end, you should have your whole A3 piece of paper filled completely with different marks.